And now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there. And we gotta lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
You are fake news.
I am not suicidal.
And now's the time when things are
We'll
shifting.
circle back with you directly. If I can circle back, I'll circle back with you.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 234 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
Brian? All
Dealing
right.
with some shit.
You guys
but I'm
drinking
here.
Yeah, I think we're live, but I'm not sure on YouTube.
I think according to
I'm honestly
according to Zoom,
not
we're
sure. It's
live
been a
on
while.
Facebook. You look at
All
the
right,
top
so
column.
on YouTube anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it now. All right, so it looks like we got it at least doing something here, and we got the show somehow set up so that people can watch it if they want to.
Yeah. All we gotta do is figure out how to get the link.
Yeah,
to
it's
them.
been it. Oh, all right, so we'll just wait. Oh, well, yeah,
It's
you
very
have
it's
just
been a very eventful day. Let me tell you. I got towed into the dock.
yeah, yeah, not me.
No me.
All right, I am posting a link. I think we'll find out. I have no idea. There we go. I think we got it. Maybe not.
Slackers. I'm no slacker. I caught something in the outboard motor that forced the motor to stop running, couldn't get it out safely, so I called the towing service. That's why I didn't get home until after dark. Everybody made it back to the dock safely. Might have been a little bit later than we wanted, but we're back.
And it's unfortunate timing too, because I cut short early today when I was going to do stuff I really needed. But that's the way
I'm sorry
shit
about
falls
that.
apart sometimes, you know? Yeah. I didn't know you were in the water, so spent the extra hour. But oh well. All right. Well, let's dive into this and see what happens. Worst case scenario, we publish this show. Worst case scenario, we publish this show with the link later when it's done. Uh, so
Well,
the United States had a deal with Saudi.
we are streaming on YouTube. I can see it. So
Bueno. Uh, Saudi Arabia had a deal with us since
we're for 50 years.
1974.
Mhm.
Yes, since 74, that they would only price and sell their oil in the US dollar, creating the petrodollar.
They
It
decided
has
not to
expired,
renew
and
that.
yes, this is not going to end well because other countries already talk about using the yuan
Well, we
or
predicted
yuan, or how you.
this, that they were trying to get us off, everybody off the dollar standard.
We did because once again, we're from the future. So this ought to be interesting, by the way, on YouTube because we stopped doing YouTube because we got 2 strikes during the COVID stuff. Uh, but this is not going to be good for the US dollar. I mean, what does the US produce? We produce the dollar, and what can you do with the dollar? You can buy oil. No one needs Ford. Nobody needs Boston Dynamics. No one needs any of these products. They can do it on their own. Uh, I think this is another example of why gold is soaring and why I've been pushing silver for so long.
Right.
So I'm glad I bought a house when I did, and I moved the F away when I did.
Right.
Shit, I don't even know if we have did we talk about the ships off the coast of Florida is not even on our list, is it?
No, it's not.
Another
But
reason why it was a good thing I got the heck away from the coastline is because Russia's sending nuclear ships to our shores. And of course, every Floridian is pointing handguns at nuclear submarines. That's fine. But seriously, everybody, have a look at your portfolio, and decide what you want to do because it's entirely possible the dollar inflates out of control, and if we continue to print the way we are, we're gonna deal with the hyperinflation crisis that Zimbabwe saw. When I remember when I had that $100 trillion
Yeah, that was
bill.
awesome.
It was awesome. It cost me like $4. All right. I've never heard of this dude, Joey Chestnut. Apparently, he's a big deal eating competition guy.
Yeah, he wins the Nathan's hot dog eating contest every year almost.
I thought it was like a tiny Korean woman who usually won that.
Mm-mm.
Uh, well, he's been banned from the 2024 hot dog eating contest because he
Because
has made a partnership with a vegan wiener company.
who
Um,
wants to eat a vegan hot dog?
I agree with you, but why ban him from your competition? Because he's selling
Because
fake
he's a
hot dogs.
competitor. The
So
Nathan's hot
what?
dog contest is to try to bump up sales for Nathan's. They are letting
That's
him
a good point.
participate in a hot dog eating contest on Netflix in the fall.
Okay, so just not the national championship.
Right.
All right. Well, interesting. I read that and I got a good laugh out of it. Uh, and did you share this next one, the COVID vaccine one? Oh, geez, went out. See, look at that. We just got banned from YouTube.
We did?
The injectable. No, 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 no.
Oh.
I said COVID vaccine. Well, you're allowed to talk about it now, actually. So
No, it's Daily Mail. That wouldn't
apparently
have been
she,
me.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it was either me or Guapo,
Yeah.
but I don't remember sharing it. This woman, Katie, I guess. She was some actress, I think.
Oh, I actually think
I'm
I
not
shared
sure.
this. I think I shared this now. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Went and got a vaccine against the coronavirus,
Yep. That's what
and
everybody told her to do.
apparently died of a blood clot in her brain. Isn't that a stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we read all these things that came out, it was like, I don't know, man, like this Operation Warp Speed doesn't sound like a good idea. Uh, and then all these results came out recently, very recently, talking about all these things that happened. I mentioned blood clots. I was like, shoot, if that thing gets loose in your brain, that's the end of it. You know what I mean? You're gonna end up like Fetterman or Biden.
Yep.
Uh, while we're in the same thing, now Cuomo is. I don't even know, understand. I read this article 3 times about how he's shifting blame about the nursing home incident
Uh-huh.
with sending the sick people to the old folks' homes. Who's he trying to blame?
Not
He
himself.
is like, it was his policy. I mean, granted, I'm sure that the what the fuck is going on? My phone is blowing up, dude.
I don't know.
Uh, I'm sure he's not listening to our show, but we were pointing out it's like you're gonna take the people that are most susceptible. The reason why we're supposed to get these jabs, and you're gonna go and put the sick people where they live. That doesn't sound like a good reason, a good idea to
Right.
me. But yeah, obviously he's trying to blame everyone else now. It was bad information came out, and it's like, well, I don't know. Fauci is the science, right? And we got to trust the science.
Yep.
You guys are getting out of control, by the way, with your freaking local stuff. It's like every
Well,
day,
what local
one of
stuff?
you two, all the
Locals the
local stuff. You guys share a local article almost every day.
all
Like
right.
apparently, you got a priest or something in Virginia
Yeah.
Beach who's diddling people, but this was an adult, not a kid.
Right.
I guess at least, I guess at least it's an adult who could fight back or something. You know what I mean?
Still doesn't sound right.
No, man, I thought the Catholic Church put this stuff behind them.
Apparently not.
And these speed cameras, all right, the ones that like they see how fast you're going and they send you a ticket in the mail.
Uh-huh.
apparently someone's suing these speed cameras, and I'm not quite sure why. I could see a couple reasons why you would, and one of them to be you can't face your accuser in a courtroom. But these things have been used everywhere for the longest time, and the argument's always been checking the calibration is good enough, just like the radar, the Doppler radar gun that the cops use, you know? So I would like it if you could keep tabs on this somehow and find out where this goes, because this could change all sorts of policies. Oh. All right, so what's going on with this the tunnel, the Herbert Hampton Roads Bridge tunnel? They've been talking about this for years, haven't they?
Oh yeah, well we started expanding it recently, like a couple years ago. They're gonna add 2 more lanes on each side, and they hit like a anchor a while back, and it really slowed down the boring process. And so like a month ago they were like halfway done, and then within a month they finished a tunnel all the way from Hampton to Norfolk. So they got one of the new tunnels done
Okay.
now. Well, not really done, but the boring machine is out resting and getting ready to start on the other side now.
And while they're doing that, I'm assuming they're going to start putting in electrical and pavement and everything else in the
Right.
first one.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've
Well, it looks
already
like they
started
might finish
driving
it.
on one of the new above bridges, because they got it finished and they want to start tearing down one of the old ones, so make room for another new one. So yeah.
That sounds expensive. Where's all this money coming from, huh?
Tolls. We've got a private
Oh, that's right.
partnership
They
here, and it's not going to be tolls per se, but one of the lanes going each way is going to be classified as a hot lane where you can pay extra to be in that lane rather than sitting in traffic if you want to.
Now, is this going to be like an HOV thing? Like you can drive faster, or do you just have less traffic in it?
I think it's probably going to be, you have less traffic in it.
All right, because it would be if I could drive 10 miles an hour faster. The problem is going across the HRBT, going 10 over saves you like 45 seconds.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's why it's going to be, during rush hour, pay a little extra, get home half hour faster kind of deal.
So yeah, so you don't have to worry about the jackass who slams the brakes going into the tube because the road's just as wide. It always drove me nuts going through the HRBT during traffic. Because people would slow down to like 40 miles an hour. Like, what are you doing? The road is just as wide.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, and then you wonder why there's traffic out the butt. All right. Actually, I'm impressed. If we're not glitching or anything, I'm using Wi-Fi to broadcast this live.
Okay.
That makes me very happy that this is working.
Yeah, it's working. I mean, I'm not. I got
And
I got it muted on YouTube, but I'm seeing us play. We're our heads are moving, our hands are moving. So I told people to comment in the Facebook group, and watch us on YouTube. So
it's funny because it says what I see. It says 2 people are watching now, and that's us.
yeah.
So I
Exactly.
don't know what to tell you. If no one's watching now, I don't. Shit hit the fan. We did what we could
Yeah.
to get this up again, and we can curse because maybe that's why some people aren't watching. If you don't have a registered YouTube account, you do not have access to my YouTube
Okay.
page.
Right.
Because yeah, so some kid can't click on it and hear us drop the F-bomb or something. So
Okay.
maybe they're gonna have to. Maybe
I
you're
don't
gonna
know
have to
what
get
the
yourself
fuck's
an
going
account if you want to
on.
watch this stuff. Zoom has been giving me nothing but trouble since I got this new computer, and now I'm hearing the Matt and Blonde show. I know you don't know who they are. It's something I listen to every Sunday
We
night.
have one
They're
watcher
complaining
on
about.
YouTube. Michael said he's watching. He's on YouTube watching us. And I know he has a registered
So maybe
YouTube
it's just not.
account. He says he can't
Maybe it
remember
just
my
doesn't count me
Google
because it's my page.
password. We got too many fucking passwords. What can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if we should set up a actual Jeffrey and Brian Show YouTube page
If
instead
we
of
want to
going through
move away
my
from
testicles
Facebook
account.
and switch to YouTube, yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily want to move away from Facebook. Like we
Well, it
can
ain't working
live
tonight.
stream to. True, I'm just saying you can't stream to multiple things at once. Like I could actually stream this to Rumble as well. Like actually, I was for a long time. Remember?
Yeah.
Right. Is Bridgeport in Virginia?
I don't know. I thought it was Connecticut.
I don't know. Okay, Guapo shared it, and I read the article, and I was like,
It's
all right,
Connecticut.
but it didn't have a state. Okay, I couldn't find a state named in it, so I was like, I guess I'll just put it in local for Virginia. But even though it's not local, I'm gonna talk about now before we forget. Apparently, some campaign workers are being charged with election fraud. Safest, fairest, cleanest elections of all time. I So, three black men in West Virginia, in Chester, I believe is the city,
Yep.
robbed a bank.
Right.
But here's the very, very interesting thing about this bank robbery. It wasn't like two dudes went inside with a gun and then like a getaway driver. There were
Uh-huh.
two dudes in the car. One guy went in with a photo ID with his photo on it and someone else's name and withdrew money, cash from this dude's account. This gentleman didn't find out until like a week later when he just randomly checked his balance.
Wow. I check my
Um,
balance every day.
well, this is that makes it sound like these dudes have some serious insider information. You know what I mean? And it makes me wonder if the victim knows the the wanted men. The only reason why I pointed out that there were three black men is because that's like all three black people in West Virginia. So like I say that there are black folks here. We even have Indian folk here. It's just 98% white. You know what I mean?
In Massachusetts?
And huh?
In Massachusetts?
No, here in West Virginia,
Oh.
Massachusetts, depending on the way you live, it's very white. But when you get into like the cities, like North Quincy, which is just south of Boston,
Uh-huh.
it's all Asian, you know. It's crazy. It's almost like a Chinatown. But check this out. They did this one community did their second annual No One Walks Alone, and they do a 44-minute walk once a year for the 44 veterans that take their own lives each year.
More than 44
I'm sorry,
people,
each
veterans
day.
die every
A
year.
day. A day.
Oh, that sounds more
44
realistic.
die a day. Yeah, I thought it was higher than that, but either way, I thought this was really cool. It raises some money,
Yeah.
and we haven't brought this up in a while, but we used to every now and then have the suicide hotline. Remember, you are not alone, and you don't have to call a 1-800 number anymore. There's a 988 number you can call instead,
Or you can call
or
us.
911 always works. What's
Or you
that?
call Jeffrey or Brian.
Hey, if you're having a tough time, give me a call. I just can't guarantee that I'm not busy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's
Well, I'm not
busier
gonna be
now that
like,
he's
hey man, I'm
not
gonna kill
working.
myself. I'm just saying, if you call me and say, or if you say, hey, I'm about to kill myself, I'll find time for you. Don't worry. But if I don't know this, I'm not just gonna drop everything I'm doing. I'm trying to make this house not a piece of shit when I just moved in.
You got your
But
work cut
speaking
out
of,
for you.
we went and adopted two dogs today.
Nice.
One of them is part shepherd, part husky. And we get the dog's name, like, oh, it's Morgana. And I was like, Arthur, like King Arthur's sister?
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, all right, well, and I look at the wife, I was like, we need a second dog now. She's like, yeah, I know. Now we need a Merlin. So we got a shepherd mix, so we got a shepherd mix 12-week-old dog and named him Merlin.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're good at naming our pets, though. You know, like we had Athena, Max. Shit, my kids are Aurora and Zelda.
Mhm.
All right, there we go. Let's talk about the law a little bit and what's going on in the judicial. See, this is my third beer, and I'm already friggin' stumbling over a CI. Uh,
Just three?
judicial stuff. Yeah, oh, you are frozen up. That's not good. There you are. A state trooper in Mississippi has lost her job, uh, and is being sued, possibly prosecuted, because she filmed a sex tape with another woman and shared it with her coworkers. There you go. My internet connection's unstable. Wonderful. Shared it with her coworkers. But apparently, this other woman said it was non-consensual and didn't know that and didn't know it was being recorded. So this is I
That's an
don't know
issue.
what people think sometimes, you know what I mean?
Uh,
Fucking morons, man. Well, uh former FBI guy, big guy, McCabe,
yeah.
is saying a lot of the intel community, especially FBI members, are tempted to flee the country if Trump is elected for
Well,
fear of
I don't
being
know what
prosecuted.
everybody's doing the scare tactics shit, you know. He said some crazy shit, but let's go back to
I know what
past. You know, what did he do to Hillary when he got elected? Nothing. He said, just let it go, you know. Let's better be better for the country. I think he'll take the high road again if he's
this is what the
reelected.
Dems do, though. They accuse
Scare tactics.
the Dems. This is what they do. They blame the Republicans for what they're doing. How many people from Trump's team are already sitting in jail? How many are awaiting jail? Like Steve Bannon was just ordered to report to prison, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's another one too. The guy who was
Trump,
running the Trump organization and they got him on tax fraud for not including a government company vehicle or something like that, you know.
yeah, and they made up, they made up, they turned felony, misdemeanors past the statute of limitations into a felony in New York
That's the only way they
to
could
try
do
to
it
get
to get it
Trump.
past the
And they went and
statute of
found him guilty, which,
limitations.
by the way, I would like to point out that you're not actually a convicted anything until sentencing because the judge can still throw it out,
Judge ain't gonna throw it out.
which, well, actually, this is very interesting. I think he might. I think this is their opportunity to not
Because
get
of
busted
the Facebook
for
thing? Because
because of the Facebook
the
thing.
court guy put
Exactly.
on Facebook a day early that the jury was out and he already knows what the jury he was going to be guilty. He had a friend of the court was on the
Yes,
jury.
his cousin, he said. Well, see, I think they're going
That
to use
should have
this as an
disqualified
excuse to
him from the jury.
being a cousin to somebody.
That works at the courthouse. Yeah,
No, this dude, the dude who posted it's cousin was one of the jury members. He said. But anyway, I think this is what they're going to do is they're going to dismiss this charge, mistrial basically, and then not retry it. So then they can all say, well, we all know he lost the case, and now you don't have to actually have a sham trial on the record for conviction. I they ate up all of his time, or they could even retry him and eat up the rest of his time before the trial, but I don't see that happening. Or if the judge could say, F, it doesn't matter because this guy's full of shit anyway. Yeah, and you see AOC's like, I think he's gonna lock me in a cage. He said he was gonna round people up. No, he said he's gonna send local law enforcement to collect the illegal migrants for deportation.
yeah.
If what are you so terrified of? While you're prosecuting him and shit, especially look what's going on with Fannie Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That case is
we'll
pretty
get to
much
it.
done.
Her trial with him it got put on hold till past the election because this is the RICO charges with uh the documents, right?
Uh-huh.
Not trying Biden on his document charges,
No,
but
of
they're
course
going
not.
after Trump. Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Hunter Biden was found guilty on 3 counts, and I would like to see the Second Amendment supporters take Hunter Biden's side on this one because that form forces you to incriminate yourself when
Well,
you
apparently
to fill
Biden came
to
out and
say
said he would not commute the sentence or pardon him. I don't believe him for a second.
no. If he wins the election, he's going to do it right after the he takes office, and if he loses the election, he's going to do it right before he gives it up. Either way, there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh,
But I
I
say
understand.
we, the people, say throw this out, and then use Hunter Biden as the way to eliminate the unconstitutional background check on my right to have a firearm.
Yeah,
Once we set a
I mean,
precedent
it's
that it's
obvious he
unconstitutional,
lied on, and that's what they got that lady down here on that the 6-year-old shot his teacher. Was lying on a form.
really, I thought she was busted for like leaving it loaded with an access to a
That
child.
too, but there was weed paraphernalia
Oh,
found in her
okay.
house when they did the search, and she had a gun.
Interesting, because that's also the reason why I'm not going to get a medicinal card here.
Thank you. Thank you very
Because then
much.
when I apply for another gun, they'll say, no, you have a medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
Uh, so Merrick Garland has been held in
Well,
contempt of
mhm.
Congress
Which we knew was
because
coming. We
of
knew it was going to happen.
we did. This was about the her interview with Joe Biden, and that was
They're
about the
refusing to release the
documents he took.
audio tape of it. They've only released transcripts. How do we know the transcript is actually what it was said on the audio? I don't trust
Well,
the
first of
DOJ
all,
anymore. The
the
DOJ put
transcript
themselves in this position.
well, the
It,
transcript was bad enough. And do we really need to hear this man go another time to finally get the message?
it would be good for our intro. We could change some things up.
We could. I'm gonna need to get on that again soon. But of course, the DOJ doesn't give a fuck about these things and
No.
refuse to prosecute Merrick Garland anyway. So
Yep.
that's awesome.
We knew that was coming too.
Yeah. And you point this out to people, and they say the dumbest shit. I swear, these folks on the left have no idea what's going on. All they can do is regurgitate talking points that they heard somewhere else.
On the View.
They have no original thought. They can't explain to you anything. But did you see the oh shoot. Piers Morgan, Michael Knowles, Mr. Wonderful, and some leftist lady were talking about Trump's trial in New York that he was found guilty in.
Uh-uh.
And she was going on and on about all this stuff. And they're like, that's not how the law works. She's like, oh, you're a lawyer. It's like, you're not a lawyer either, but I can read the damn law right in front of me. And then she said something about tyrant. And Michael Knowles like, actually, I think illegally jailing your political opponents is the tyrannical thing to do.
Exactly.
Back to Fannie Willis, or that's her name, right? Fannie Willis. Uh,
Yep.
she is prosecuting the rapper Young Thug. I am not a big rap fan. There's some stuff out there that's decent. Actually, I've been checking out Tom McDonald more and more lately. Don't know if you're familiar with his work, but he's very
No.
political. You should check him out. He actually dropped a new song on Friday. And check this out. He's completely independent. He has no record deal. He publishes all of his own stuff and puts it out on social media. And
Huh.
he actually has beat Eminem in the #1 spot before. And right now, he is #2 just behind Eminem's new release. So, like, that's a big deal. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Eminem was big when I was
But
young, so
when you were young,
yeah.
um, He's still a big deal. He's one of the greatest of all time. But anyway, his Young Thug's defense attorney was found in contempt because he said, "Hey, the prosecution brought the witness into the judge's chambers and had a discussion with this individual,
Well,
and then
that's
went back
definitely
on
not
stand and
right.
changed." And he changed his testimony. And then the judge was like, how dare you? And threw him in jail for 10 weekends. Um, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's so illegal. Like, that completely violates all disclosure. And the thing is, the dude that they wanted to prosecute, when they brought him, I'm sorry, to testify, they brought him up and they asked him questions, and he basically pled the fifth.
Mhm.
And like, sir, you can't. We've given you immunity. You cannot plead the fifth. They're trying to get
So
Young
now they
Thug
got to
on
take away his
RICO
immunity.
charges. Well, they're trying to get Young Thug on RICO charges. Fannie Willis is the one prosecuting. So she's trying to build her career between this and Trump on organized crime. Meanwhile, the guy that they gave immunity to admitted to murder. And that's what they gave him immunity on if he would testify against this guy.
And it's backfiring.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't
Oh
think
my
Fannie
God.
Willis is going to have a job much longer. So
Nice. Yeah, I
because
mean,
I mean,
and it
some of
might
the
even
things
get you
she's
in a
done,
jail
she
cell.
should actually lose her law license. She could like lose her law license over. I have an insurance license, sell
Yeah,
life insurance, and I'm super careful on doing shit that may not look right.
yeah. Uh, yeah, man. This judge should lose his robe too. Right. Oh, I got busted. I'm gonna throw you in jail. It's like what?
Right.
And then check this out. While he sent this dude's lawyer to jail, his main lawyer, he continued with the trial.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, wait a minute, you just threw my defense attorney in jail. What am I supposed to do? He's like, well, you can figure it out. You have a second attorney. And the other guy was like, yeah, I'm just kind of like giving him like the sheets he asks for because I understand the verbiage. I don't know this case, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
It's like, you just took away this guy's right to counsel.
Yep.
And Brian's leaving. So yeah. Anyway, I'm interested to see where this goes because this case right now is the longest court case ever in Maryland. It's been over 100 days already, and they're saying it's going to be until 2025 once this is said and done. All right. Alex Jones's bankruptcy issue. Of course, Brian's not here, but he was ordered to pay some Sandy Hook victim families 1.2 billion, more than the GDP of France, the gross domestic product of France in a year. And Alex Jones said, "All right, I'm going to file Chapter 11, and that's it." And they said, "No, we're going to liquidate everything you have and force you to pay these people." But the problem is, all of his assets only worth like $15 million,
And the settlement's way
and
higher than that, the judgment.
well, the judgment was 1.2 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but they want to like sell off his companies, all of his assets, and everything. And it's like, what you could do is just say you have to give us 40% of this in perpetuity or until you pay back what's owed. But no, they don't want
They just want to bankrupt
quote
him.
justice for these people. They want to shut this man. They want to shut this man down. They're trying to right now. They're trying to take control over his X account, so he can't even publish anything to his people,
'Cause he
like to
basically
his
came out
followers.
recently and said that each show he's doing could be his last. He's expecting the government to come and shut down everything soon.
So, did you see this video of Nancy Pelosi?
Yes, I did. I believe there's no way that the security people, and the intelligence people did not warn her saying, hey, let's bring in the, have at least have the National Guard on standby for the event,
But they did. They brought this up 3 days before. Trump has been saying this for
Yeah.
years.
Uh-huh.
Pelosi was the one who shut it down.
Yeah.
And she's like, that never happened. That never happened. Now a video comes out of her going, this is my fault. Oh my God, we blew it. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
She said, I take responsibility.
Uh-huh.
And then she went nuts on CNN for publishing this leaked video. And it's like, bitch, you're the one who did all the nasty shit. You got busted and you're gonna cuss people out now?
Uh-huh. Calling Trump a thug.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's different. That's she's asking Trump's family to stage an intervention if they love him because he's a thug. Meanwhile, they're accusing Trump Jr. of breaking the law in some meeting with the Hungarian leader, Orban.
Uh-huh.
What about Hunter Biden and Burisma? And I know I hate
nobody
doing
wants to bring this shit up. We brought him on this show.
Joe Biden bragged about it. And like this, we have evidence, the transactions of the. I mean, the dude didn't speak the language.
we have that evidence, but there's so many other shady dealings from the Biden, family. It's just
family.
Like there should be freaking more investigations going on about this.
Well, that was the whole thing with her interview that got swept under the rug. Was this the reason why they didn't charge him on those documents he took as vice president and as a senator?
Because he was crazy.
Was because he's a feeble old man who doesn't know where he is.
He didn't have the mental capacity to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. He was incompetent to stand trial, and it's like,
but he can be the president of the United States.
This is your argument. Yeah, and people are still going to vote for him.
Oh, like, yeah, a lot of people are going to vote for him. Where he is. He's got the D next to his name.
He shit his pants at the Normandy thing. We all saw it happen.
Of that. It was on the last show. We talked about it, but they're denying that actually happened.
Of course they are. This isn't the first time it looked like he was taking a dump in his pants, though.
That's why he wears a diaper every day.
Yeah, boxers or briefs, Joe. Depends.
You like
that one?
I gotta say that. Sorry.
That might be a title.
I'm working on it.
So G7 just met in Italy. Did you catch any of this?
Yeah, it was a shit show.
Well,
the Italian media is like
they're
calling out Biden for being the idiot he is.
Well, he wandered off, and the prime minister had to grab him and pull him back to what was going on. And it's like, you're a joke, Joe. The entire planet is laughing at you and us because we elected you. And not only that, there's a decent chance he's going to get reelected.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were there, they all voted to lend Ukraine $50 billion of frozen assets.
But they're not really frozen assets. I heard about this on the Clayton Buck No Agenda show. Actually, I think it was. These assets are gaining interest, so they're giving Ukraine the interest off of Russia's assets, not their actual assets. Not saying that makes it better, but I just think that if these people can willy-nilly give out other people's money without like a court case and a court decision, what the economy? Who trusts what economy now? Who trusts what country to protect their funds where they're invested at?
Exactly where I was going with that was who's going to trust the United States to not just take all of their assets if they disagree with them at some point.
Yeah.
Because that's what we say for years is, keep your business holdings in the United States instead of China, because they'll just seize it when the Communist Party decides it's time that the Communist Party wants a piece.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly what we do.
Right. We're no better than the Communist Party when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, what used to be called communists, we now call liberals, which is too bad because liberal used to be good, honest people. You know, you didn't always agree with them, but at least you could have a conversation with a
Yeah.
classical liberal in the 90s. Like
Uh,
the guy who voted for Bill Clinton,
like a James
you
Carville.
agreed on like 90% of stuff. Huh?
Like James Carville.
Exactly. Actually, I think there's something in here about Carville. Maybe not.
He's married
Uh,
to Mary Madeline, who
he's
used to
been
be a substitute on the Rush Limbaugh show.
that's that's a weird marriage, huh?
They don't talk politics at home.
Still, like, all right. Is there a gun in the house? You know?
Probably not. They probably have
Uh,
they have security.
so did you see the Juneteenth
I'm bringing it.
celebration?
I'm working on it. Stall.
All right. All right. Well, no, this is great because Joe Biden, there's music playing, and I, oh, he was with all these folks dancing around, and his hands came up a little bit, like a little bit forward, like Cornholio, but not all the way up like he usually does,
Yeah.
and just kind of stood there and looked around. Yeah, exactly. Like he was looking for TP for his bunghole, you know?
All right, stand
Um,
by. I am going to share the video.
Bueno. Oh, anyway, yeah, they're playing the music. They're all dancing. He's looking like he's confused and lost. Um, Makes you wonder what he was even doing there. You know what I mean? Now, anyone just listening, it's what I described, but here's the video. Now, hold up. Pause this for a second, Brian.
Yep.
Can you pause the video?
The
Okay.
stupid, the buttons in
You
the
see,
way.
Kamala Harris is
Yep.
out on his right, correct?
Yeah. Kamala
What?
Harris. Yep.
Okay, and then there's some other white dude next to
Maybe her
Kamala,
husband.
and then there's
Isn't that her
Don
husband?
Cheadle. Maybe it could be. I'm not sure, but then you have someone. I think this is Don Cheadle in a wig and a
He's
dress
transitioning.
next to him. Do you see? That's exactly what it looks like. Look, go ahead and play this. But I was like, this dude didn't even shave
No,
for the day to
not
try
at
to look like a
all.
woman.
Look, everybody's moving to the music, and Bobby's like, That's her husband. I guarantee you that's Kamala's husband. The first father.
But
The
yeah, like
first
that
guy.
dude, that dude in that dress with the beard and the hair. Oh
Still
my
going
god!
at it.
Oh, that's a good one.
So much bow
Oh my
ties.
God.
Look at him, man. He's got no facial expressions because of the bow ties.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed actually when I watched the video because I was like, all right, Joe just looks goofy. What else? And I was like, hold on, like anyone doesn't know who Don Cheadle is? Yes, you do. You've watched a ton of his movies and you love his work. The man's a brilliant actor.
Just don't bring politics in your acting.
Yeah,
That's what turned me off a lot
yeah,
these
actually.
days is because I'm like, I used to love certain people as actors, and then they like
De Niro.
they went off on the deep end, yeah, like Robert De Niro, and I'm like,
Didn't the
I don't care.
didn't the Academy just take back all of his awards over that last thing?
Mhm. We had that on the show.
Jeez Louise. His career might be over. His career should be over because when they gave him an award, he said, I have 2 words or 3 words, fuck Donald Trump, and walked away. And it's like, I'm not allowed to do that. You know, I mean, at least Kathy Griffin got canceled when she held up the severed head of the president.
Yeah, and yeah, she even comes out and says like, hey, you know, that might have been a mistake. You know, I still agree with it, but it was a mistake. Type deal.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that publicly. You know what I mean?
It
And
was
her
gonna,
career
even if you
ended at
don't do
that
it
point, didn't it?
publicly, if you got that much hate for somebody, it's gonna come out eventually, you know. That's just the way the shit happens, you know.
That's what gets me is I keep hearing how hateful these Republicans are. I'm like, I don't see the Republicans burning down cities. I don't see the Republicans doing half this garbage
Hell, the
that the left is
Republicans
doing in the
chose
name of
Milwaukee
tolerance.
for their national convention. What the fuck's up with that? Wisconsin
I
doesn't
don't know.
even
The
vote
Republicans have
Republican.
no. Yeah, and well, and the Republicans aren't. They ain't doing. They got no spines. They have all. They have Hillary Clinton's Steele dossier. They have Burisma. They have go down what Bowman pulling the fire alarm down the list, down the list, down the list. They do jack shit while they're watching their guys get thrown in jail and thrown off of Congress. They got no balls, they got no spines, and I'm losing respect for the Republican Party every day, which is saying something because I didn't have much for them in the first place. And I
No,
bring
you
this up
didn't.
every now and then on this show that I've never really been a Republican, and we used to
No,
have more disagreements, but the left, the Overton window
the
moved so
left
far
left
left.
you.
But this is what, not even that, they just moved further left. Like I was never actually on the left.
Who would have ever thought
I just
Fetterman would be
didn't.
considered a moderate?
That stroke fixed him, dude. We've been
It
talking about
really
him for a
seems
while.
like
He's
it.
been getting like he's getting based, and exactly what he said is like I'm not progressive anymore. The part
Yeah,
they've moved too far left of me. They're out of control. They're ridiculous. I'm like,
right.
good for you, Fetterman. Well, he's supposed to be the working man's senator, right?
Yeah, but he's never
And
worked a day in his life.
well, he has, but well, that's Bernie Sanders. Uh, no, but then like his party is a bunch of rich white dudes telling everyone else to shut the fuck up and do what they're told. Like, you make too much money. It's like, no, bitch, you make too much money. You just gave my job to an illegal migrant and you're paying them less. All right. So I hadn't heard about this. The Secret Service is about to talk to
We,
Congress concerning Kamala
yeah, because
Harris.
I'm
What
pretty sure
exact
we brought this up on the show a while
did
back.
we
Her
fight?
lead agent like pulled a gun on another agent, and
Whoa.
the gun was involved.
Hold. Whoa. That sounds like
Oh no,
yeah,
no gun.
Congress
It's
definitely
sorry,
needs to
no
hear
gun
why.
involved. She punched her
Okay.
supervisor at in April at an airbase. So the gun didn't get pulled, but she punched somebody.
He's lucky that the gun wasn't drawn on her because you punch me in the face, I draw my gun. Now, you
Right.
know, call me a pussy if you want. That's fine. You're gonna have holes in your chest, and I'm not. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, she physically attacked her
Now,
supervisor and also the commanding agent in charge for the vice president's protected detail. This all happened at Joint Andrews Base, which is where all the planes fly in and out of, because it's right there in the DC area. So used to be an Air Force
this sounds
base.
like this person's gonna go to. Oh yeah, unless she can prove beyond any question that she was right to strike this person, she's going to go to prison over this. At least lose her job.
Well, she probably lost her job, but nothing else happened to her. That's why that's why Congress wants to find out more about what happened.
Goodness. Yeah, Congress doesn't necessarily have the authority to throw you in jail, depending on the situation, but they might in a Secret Service case. I'm not sure. Congress has strange powers, you know.
Right.
On the top of Kamala Harris,
Yeah,
remember how we were
things
just
flow
celebrating the
together.
4 hostage? Yeah, I know it's almost like someone sits down and tries to do this. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Uh, remember last week we were talking about how excited we were about 4 more hostages getting rescued from
Yep.
Hamas?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kamala Harris came out and mourned the deaths of the people that were involved in
Because
holding
she
the
said
hostages.
that Israel killed too many people to save the 4 people.
Don't kidnap people.
Exactly. If you're
Saw
not
10
willing
guys
to pay the
kidnapped
price,
by
maybe you shouldn't do the crime.
yeah. 10 guys kidnap my daughter. I'm gonna kill as many of them as I need to before I get my daughter back. I don't give a fuck. Oh, it's not proportionate. Fuck you, it's not proportionate. This is who the
I-
fuck
Can you look at YouTube? I
are
think
these
we
people
got chats coming across on it now.
on YouTube
Yeah.
or on Facebook? Oh, look at that. Way too long at the pot shop. She's filling a suit, lickety slit, lickety slit.
All right. Now he figured it out. He's on YouTube.
Oh man.
I also sent this
Did you
link
see?
to the repeat offender, and oh well. Some of our
There you go.
main viewers and listeners.
Yeah, the people that usually get involved.
Yeah. We like people getting involved.
Did
It
you?
makes for a better show.
Yes. And we're not real good at checking these comments, but um, did you see what happened in Europe recently with the elections for the EU?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Did we talk
the
about?
people wanted green, 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 got canceled, canceled, canceled. And yeah, so a lot of what we call conservative, they don't call it the same thing in Europe, but a lot of conservative governments gain power in the EU. And that's one reason why I don't know why French President Macron is dissolving the parliament. He's demanding another re-election now. But there I've seen politicians come out
Actually,
and
I
say that what's happening in Europe is going to play a big role in how people vote in the upcoming election in November. So they are predicting that Trump will win re-election and probably
well,
have all
I
three
think what?
have the Senate and the House
Nope.
at the same time.
Nope. He's not. He's definitely not gonna get the Senate. We're probably gonna lose the House on the right side of
Well,
the window.
the way they're saying the Senate is because there's a lot more Democrat senators that are up for re-election in the Senate than Republicans. So they think they only got to swing two. You know, they think that they can swing the two to gain the majority in the Senate.
I understand, but I think they're expecting. I think they have abandoned Joe winning this election, and that they're focusing on the Senate and the House, Congress, so that they can gridlock Trump, make him worthless when he's in office, and then blame him for the economic collapse that's coming, that's already begun under Biden.
Right. Okay.
But
I'm not
I
going to
think
totally disagree with that.
this is just a theory I have. Yeah, like, oh shit, that's not a terrible idea, actually.
No.
I think Macron dissolving the parliament and demanding a new elections is actually the right thing to do. Because right now they're all on the quote left side of the aisle in the parliament, and everyone just voted for the right side of the aisle in the EU. So is it possible Macron said the people clearly don't agree with what we're doing? Let's give them another chance to set the government the way they actually want it. I don't know if that's what he's doing or not, but this is probably how it's going to work out because
Uh-huh.
they get to vote on their own national elections and replace everyone except for Macron himself. Unfortunately, Macron has what 3 years left in his second term.
Yeah,
think.
but if he's still popular, he'll
So I
probably
haven't.
go right back. I mean, I don't think they have a limit like we have in the
They have
United States.
terms.
They do?
They do.
All right.
Yes, but shoot, if he's trying to help the people get their voices heard, I support the crap out of that. And he's not some crazy far leftist, and he might just be a old school liberal in the United States that's like, they don't like what I'm doing. Let's give him a chance to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he might have another trick up his sleeve too. I also don't know. And it's hilarious because I'm reading so much stuff online about how the far right won all these elections in the EU. And I'm like, first of all, if they're winning the elections, they're not far anywhere. They are the moderates, okay? If you
Yeah.
think they're far right, that means you are far left because you're looking at what
Exactly.
everyone else agrees on and says, "Oh, bad, bad, bad." Uh, and as they're saying the far right, there we go. The headline, who's this from? MSN. So I don't know whether. Unfortunately, my MSN articles don't always have the actual source on them. It says protests against hard right turned violent in France. The people that you were calling far right and hard right are not the ones being violent. They have not been violent. As soon as they win an election, riots erupt. Who are the extremists here?
Right.
You know? Like, oh, if Trump takes office, he's going to throw his political enemies in prison. Have a look at what's going on right now that the Democrats are doing to the Republicans. It's not hard to see. It's right there in front of your face.
Yep.
Oh, they found Hunter Biden guilty. That proves that they charged him with garbage that Joe is going to freaking throw away as soon as election is over, and it won't have anything to do with the election. This is a dog and pony show, and he's a lion dog faced pony soldier. Jeez, Brian must have like a prostate the size of a fucking baseball the way he pees so much. All right. Anyway, I think it's very curious and interesting what's happening in Europe right now. They're changing. They don't like what's going on, and it actually has a lot to do with the migration that's flowing into Europe right now. People are realizing that you can't just open your borders and hand everyone your food your money because then you don't get to eat. Well, actually, so much so that New York officials are now reaching across the aisle to the Republicans, trying to find a way to help deport these migrants that are moving into New York City, which is hilarious because New York City is supposed to be a sanctuary city.
It is.
But now they want to deport these folks. I mean, they must be racist and they just hate brown people,
Well,
obviously.
they might have realized that the migrants are costing them billions of dollars, and that's why they got to defund the police to pay for the migrants.
And it's also possible that they realize that we just found 8 members of ISIS that came across the southern border because it's wide open. And
Yeah,
how
they
long
got
is
some
everyone?
the Custom Border Patrol agency has some kind of app you can put your information into, and you don't actually have to show a physical ID to get into the country.
So I could literally just steal someone else's identity by saying their name.
Yep.
Wonderful. That's yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, the ACLU is about to sue Biden over his new border policy because he's only going to allow 2,500 people to cross the border without question before he sends them back to Mexico. That's
Still
20.
seems
That's a
kind of
day.
high.
2,500 a day.
Yeah.
Well, considering it's supposed to be zero, yes. And now the ACLU is getting involved. It's like, what? These people are not citizens. They do not have the rights that the American citizen has.
Right.
And I used to really respect the ACLU, like not even because I always liked what they did or who they stood up for. I liked the fact that they stood up for rights. Like they defended the Ku Klux Klan. Remember that?
Yeah.
Say no, they have a right to be hateful. They have a right to protest. They have a right to march. They have a right to do all of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, they do. They're just douchebags. Oh, oh my goodness. I thought Guapo would show up, honestly.
I don't know what time he's getting off of work. He's working tonight.
Ah. So I'm trying to set this segment up every week. It's not always easy to do, but I call it
The
well, duh.
Wilda. We need a jingle for this. Let me get AI on the making us this jingle.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Dun, 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 dun. Well, duh.
Ah.
California's new minimum wage stuff has caused thousands of layoffs, as we've predicted.
Yep.
The fast food industry is collapsing in California.
And Waffle
Either
House,
either
I know I don't have this article in here, But Waffle House said nationwide they're raising prices because of people are using too much extra condiments. But that's not just it. It's the economy, and they're just not coming out and saying that.
Yeah, it's the
Everything's
economy is
up.
stupid.
Labor costs, product,
Yep.
electricity, water, everything's up.
Not to mention, for some reason, theft is completely acceptable these days. So Dine and Dash, I'm sure, has gone up.
Yeah,
Oh man, I used to love Waffle House.
still do.
They were all over the place in Virginia.
Well, they don't have them in West Virginia.
I'm sure they do, but I live in the middle of nowhere. It's a 20-minute drive to the nearest business. Check this out. The closest place I can get a cheeseburger is called the Custard Stand.
Sounds delicious.
Actually, it is. It's amazing. They were on Shark Tank. They have 4 locations now.
Okay.
The food is great. The burgers are great. They have soft serve ice cream. They're known for their chili dog.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had one yet because
Yeah, we know about you and
they're
chili.
famous for the chili dog. So I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing I won't make it back home the 20-minute drive
Pretty
before I crap
much,
in my
yeah.
pants.
You may want to get that to go and eat it closer to home.
Yeah. Actually, it's more than a 20-minute drive from there. The closest business is a gas station.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Letitia James is getting behind a bid to re-implement the New York law banning
Banning
masks.
masks because all these anti-Israel protesters are wearing masks, and it's hard for facial recognition software to identify them with masks on. I don't know why that is.
So you're telling me that it's only the anti-Jew stuff, the anti-Semitic stuff that matters, not the smash and grabs that have happened in
It's all that
organizations across our
shit.
city.
It's all that shit, but they focus on the wrong things and they put the wrong things in place, It's like I've started
We
seeing
brought this up
around here
specifically.
going to the gas stations and like convenience stores, like no mask allowed type deal again. Because people with masks are stealing shit. I went into a 7-Eleven tonight where I had to actually ask the clerk, and this was like 9 o'clock at night before I got on the show, to go behind into the liquor cabinet and grab what I wanted out of it because there's been so much theft at this particular 7-Eleven. They actually had all the coolers locked up at 9 o'clock at night for alcohol.
I'm not surprised. And that was something we brought up in particular. It's like you're acquiring masks now, but it's illegal to go into a bank with a mask on.
Right.
So like, but the problem, it's like, maybe people are getting away with crimes because we don't know who they are. Fucking
yeah,
duh.
they're definitely getting away with that.
And best part is there's so many exceptions to her rule for these banning the mask that it won't work anyway. And one of them is they don't want to spread the flu or bird flu or any of these other diseases. And it's like that was why people wear all I have to do is say I'm worried about COVID and I can wear a mask to rob somebody now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just bolting
I mean, even here in Virginia, I was in BJ's today and I still saw people wearing masks.
I haven't seen a single mask in West Virginia, but I was
And
seeing
I don't
in
care.
Massachusetts.
They want to wear their mask, let them wear their mask. As long as they don't force me to wear a mask, I don't care.
You say that until you get robbed at gunpoint and you can't describe the person who attacked you besides the color of their skin and have fun. Have fun saying, I don't know, 5'7", 140, 160 pounds, black man. Black!
No, you can't say that. Black's not authorized.
It's like,
The hair on my legs was not standing up for that black man.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. It was a white dude with really, really dark skin. Crazy.
I mean, Corn Pop's a white dude's name. Just listen to the name of the guy, Corn Pop.
Obviously. And, well, we all know Corn Pop was just stopping Joe from diddling these kids in the pool.
He was doing
they were
society a
rubbing
favor.
my hairy legs. Yeah, he's like, oh, they were rubbing my hairy legs in the pool. And this corn bob was like, what the fuck are you doing? You pervert. Uh, and even Bill Maher. Bill Maher's starting to realize what the fuck is going on around him. Even Bill Maher is saying, like, how come it's only the left that's allowed to hate the Jews?
Right.
Uh, and people saying it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's like, yeah, you're right. People saying in Charlottesville saying you will not replace us is not nearly as bad as death to Israel and kill the Jews that we're hearing on college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Bill Maher's, I don't know, maybe he pulled his head out of his ass. Maybe he realized that his audience is declining because no one's believing this bullshit anymore. I don't know, but he's started blasting the left more and more, which I think is a good thing. All right, on to our leftovers, Brian. You shared a story. At least this time, no one got shot at the congressional baseball game. What happened?
Yeah, protesters showed up and they ran out on the field
Jews?
and demanded that the game shut down. Last time this
what?
happened, people died.
Did someone die? I thought someone just got shot once, but maybe I could be wrong. It
Well,
was a
maybe
while
they
ago.
didn't die, but it was Steve Scalise, and it took him a long time to recover.
Yeah, he was out for a while. This was about the same time when Rand Paul was attacked by his neighbor while mowing his lawn, right?
Yep.
The shooting. And again, it's who are the violent extremists? Because Rand Paul is a libertarian and he's getting beat up and having his ribs broken because someone didn't like his political opinion.
Yeah. Crazy.
You know what I mean? Well, Scalise got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then you hear how extreme the right is. I'm like, dude, I don't. The most extreme thing I see the right do is march with a tiki torch. I saw the left burn down Seattle and Portland. You know,
Yeah.
trying to kill people. Interesting. The intersex inclusive pride flag that you shared here
Yeah.
does not look like the one I saw.
Of course not.
It's very similar, but this flag changes every fucking year, dude. It's like I
I
swear
don't even
they're
know.
just
I
trying
think
to
it
sell a
changes
different
more than
flag
that.
every year.
I think we only notice it once a year, but I bet it changes like every minute of the day.
Yeah, we notice in June. I swear they're just trying to sell more flags. Like how many these folks that have these flags, how many do you have stacked up in your house? Because I have like 10 flags, maybe.
You got 10 pride
But
flags?
it's like a Gadsden. No pride flags, but I have an American flag, a Gadsden flag, a POW flag, a Massachusetts flag, a Navy flag, a Virginia flag, a Florida flag, an Air Force flag,
But you
West
don't
Virginia
have a
flag.
flagpole.
I'm sorry. I don't have a flagpole here yet, so I can't even fly them. That's disappointing, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I had a flagpole in Massachusetts. I was flying the Gadsden flag most of the time. That's why you
People were
didn't see it on
freaking
the
out.
show. Oh, it drove them nuts. People drove by and slowed down and took pictures because they would only drive. They would only drive down my street at for elections because the elementary school where the voting
Okay.
is right next to my house, and people would come down.
That's
And
the
they'd
day
see
you
me
flew the
freak
Gadsden
out.
flag on election day.
I kept it flying year round. I kept it flying year round, but I actually had cops show up once. And like, oh, we heard there's some extremist activity over here. And I was like, first of all, what the fuck does extremist activity mean? I'm talking to
Please
and,
define
and,
that for me.
and no, these are like guys I went to high school with, the cops, right? And
Okay.
I'm like, what do you mean extremist activity? Like, I don't know. I guess you got some like hate symbols out here in your yard. I was like, honestly, officer, I'd really want to tell you to go fuck yourself and get the hell out of here. But I was like, go have a look around and tell me what's so extreme.
Right.
And the cop walked around for a couple minutes, and he's like, I don't see anything that's dangerous. I was like, okay, let me tell you what the problem is. And I explained to him, I was like, 3 people drove down here, took pictures of my flag flying up here. And he's like, The "Don't Tread on Me" flag? I'm like, yeah, they think that's an extremist symbol, and that's what they're calling you about. So, well, we don't know what they were calling about. And it's like, that's why they didn't tell you what it was. They
Right.
wanted you to come here and find something to take me away for.
Uh-huh.
Don't tread on me. That means don't disregard me and tell me to fuck myself. And then the first thing you do is like, fuck that guy. I'm gonna get a Molon Labe flag too. It's Latin for "come and take it," referring to "come and take my weapon." Apparently, Martha's Vineyard's gonna run out of pot soon.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Well, because Massachusetts is stupid. They're
And
worried about dealing with
Martha's Vineyard is outside of the state in an island. And they got to go through
It's
federal
close enough
waters
to the
get
shore.
there.
They do not have to go through federal waters to get to Martha's Vineyard.
Well,
For whatever reason-
Massachusetts is not going to deliver any more weed products to Martha's Vineyard because they're worried about the federal government.
It's a fucking vineyard. The whole island is designed for growing stuff, and it turned into a place for rich people to live. Grow your own fucking pot. You know what I mean?
Well, some
Seriously,
people
you can
are.
make a
There
ton of
are
money.
people. The article is about a person that's not rich out there.
That's impossible for someone who's not rich.
Read the article.
You can't afford. I did. But
It was about some little old lady that needed weed to keep her life safe, and she wasn't be able to get it anymore soon because of the law. Because what I mean, this
they're worried about.
dispensary was trying to actually pay for it and bring it over on the ferry himself, and Massachusetts came down and said, no, you can't do that anymore. Originally, there was another company that was growing it on Martha Vineyard, but they said it wasn't profitable to keep growing it, so they stopped because of all the regulations involved and testing and everything. So
That's they are Massachusetts is very serious about the testing. You have to have a lot of money invested to make that shit work. I don't care about this guy in New York. And I got nothing else. How about you?
nope.
All right. Well, all right. Well, then I guess
Wait,
that's our shit,
let
Brian.
me see what I'm working on it.
Oh.
All right. Am I sharing sound?
Well, that's right. So, probably you were before anyway. I forgot we had exit music.
I'm not sure.
See, here's the thing. When I was doing the sound, I always had it queued up and ready to go in advance, and I know it's not so easy. And
I'm doing a lot more shit now.
I know it's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
What?
Sooner or later, I'll figure out how to get this damn thing to play sound for me. I don't know why I can't.
All right. What do you hear?
There we go. Anyway, Brian, I believe that's the end of our show. I know we were a little late. I know we're on a different platform, but we made every effort to get something out today, folks.
Yep.
So I hope you all appreciate it. Brian, that's our shit.
All right. I'm going to start